Sweet!
All right, so yesterday, I was a little frustrated when the cleanup crew showed up out here. Only reason I was frustrated was because a week prior to, somebody came out here, said they were the cleanup crew. I gave them this big long tour, thought everything was gonna get cleaned up the next day or even that day. Anyway, we did this walk around. Guy left, said he'd be back in an hour, and 8 days gone by. Never heard back from the guy. Then I get a new guy calling saying they're here to do the cleanup, and whatever happened to the other guy? So here we go, I'm starting all over again. And so I start talking to two of the guys, then lo and behold, two other guys show up. I'm like, who are you? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And are you just a truck driver? What? Truck driver says he's the boss. Okay. I kind of vented my frustration on the whole communication issue. There was a guy out here, he said he was gonna do this, he disappeared. Right hand's not talking to the left. I keep getting different people that are my contact people. Don't get me wrong, the guys that come out here and do the work are great, but when it comes to like the communication part of things, that's where we have our issues, and that's why I'm frustrated. Anyway, he was like, little did I know, I find out today that he's like the big head, the big wig for the area, because there was a point in time here where I was walking around the property just kind of looking at stuff, and one of the foremen from the crew that's actually working comes and talks to me, and he mentioned how the guy that was here yesterday, he's the head honcho for this area. Anyway, when he left yesterday, I felt totally great about everything. Everything that we wanted was going to be done, and even bonus, right? So walking around with the foreman today, and he just wanted to say, we're going to put a pile here, we're going to put a pile there. I'm like, yeah, that's great, that's cool, man, whatever works for you guys. I'm easy to work with. But then there's other piles that we made that are close to stuff that they dropped, and then there's other piles that have been dropped from years gone by that PG&E never came out and picked up. So not only are they picking up the stuff that's been dropped this year, we're getting bonus. Me and Poppy dropped like a couple of trees before all this started happening that they're gonna pick up. There's other extra piles from years gone by that are getting picked up. So I'm like really happy about all this. I mean, I know I was frustrated yesterday, but I guess the squeaky wheel gets the grease, I guess, because I was venting my frustrations to the right person, little did I know. And they're coming through tenfold at this point as far as I'm concerned. So it's amazing what's happening out here. Me and Poppy were kind of putting a pencil to it. Without question, there was 35 trees on this property that were marked to get taken down. I know there was an extra one or two that were put into the mix because it was easy to take it down and then get to the ones they needed. You know, we're between 35 and 40 trees on this property alone that were taken down. Then there's another handful taken down at Poppy's place. So we came up, for sure, there's like 50 trees taken down between these two places. And I mean, if we're just talking an average of $2,000 a tree, just an average. I mean, some trees are more, some trees are less. Some trees are far more than $2,000 if we were to have hired this out. We're looking at 100 grand, no question about it. No question about it. And that's not talking cleanup or anything. I mean, you start adding that into the mix, some of the cleanup stuff is just as much as it is to drop the tree. So, I mean, without question, we're looking at $150,000 of work that's been done out here in the last month when it comes to all this tree work. And it's all been done for free. It's just, it blows my mind what is taking place here. I'm really having a hard time focusing on doing anything around here right now with all this going on. It's just, I don't need to be a part of it. I don't need to do anything involved with these guys other than just let them do their thing. But it's just, it's hard to like steer my attention anywhere else other than just kind of keep my attention looking out the window every once in a while at these guys, because it's just amazing what's happening out here right before my eyes. But in the same sense, I got to keep my distance. We totally got to keep our distance from all these machines. There's 9 people out here today, just on my property alone, doing what they're doing. There's 2 guys in a machine. There's a guy with a couple guys with chain. I mean, I don't even know what all these guys are doing, but there's bodies moving everywhere. And we counted, they kind of did a powwow there for a minute, and me and Papa were walking around, and we counted 9 people just on this property alone. And earlier today, they came and took down a tree down at his place, and there were 4 guys that did that. So at one point in time, we had 13 people out here on the estates working. It's crazy. So even though I might be like totally debilitated in awe of what's going on around here, there's still 13 people out here just tearing it up. So it's amazing, truly amazing. So this is a spot where them running their machines is kind of clean up the yard. And not only that, but this pile of wood over here, they stacked it all neat and orderly because it was just kind of all over the place out here. So they prettied that up. So there's a big pile of brush down there that they picked up, and there's 2 trees right here on the property line that me and Poppy had somebody else, we hired out somebody to come and drop. If we would have known that what was going to happen, we wouldn't have had these trees dropped, but we ended up paying for these trees right before this stuff all went down. So the guys today, they basically cleaned up the whole area right here that they didn't do, but they picked up our mess. Tree right there, and then right up here, this is where the lumber yard's gonna be. And then there was nothing but just a big old tree right here that they bucked up. Well, they didn't buck it up, but they cleaned it up, got rid of the brush, and then they moved the long piles of wood down where the other piles of wood are. There's starting to be piles everywhere, but the real long piles are down there by the horse trailer. And then right here, this morning I couldn't even see this. This road was completely blocked off and starting to get covered up in brush everywhere. So this is looking amazing. These guys did a lot of work. Even just them driving their machines around is cleaning up the yard in a lot of ways. Wow, oh my God. This was just nothing but brush everywhere. I couldn't even see the horse trailer from here earlier this morning. Piles of wood here. It just doesn't stop, man. The more I look, the more stuff I find. And let's see, we had a big digger pine get dropped right here. So just them picking this up and bringing it out so it can get to the piles that they've started. Just that alone, I mean, they've kind of cleaned up the yard a little bit. So bonus getting the stuff cleaned up, bonus getting the yard cleaned up, getting the brush cleaned up. I mean, I feel like I'm just winning it every which way here with what's happening out here. This place is starting to look like a park real quick here. They'll have this gone in a few days, I would imagine. Absolutely amazing. See you guys tomorrow.